And it says we are live. Very first thing. What a way to start the show off, Brian. Thank you so much. As everybody should be able to see, Brian is now at Voyager class. And I greatly appreciate that. Of course, I am your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe. And while you're at it, light on my baby. Ooh, hold on. Hit the notification bell. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that is in the description down below, also in the description down below. And if you are in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we have to offer to you through spring. A whole bunch of new stuff added just a few days ago. Or, of course, you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member at any given time, just like Brian did. I'm going to get things set up. I hope you guys are having a tremendous week. It has been very full one, very full one for me indeed. Not a bad one, very full one. Tomorrow should be a good Friday. I'm looking forward to it, heading into the weekend. Yeah, let's get everything sort of set up here with all of you guys. I do have, I didn't put it in the description or anything as I normally do about a pickup, but I kind of do have one. It's just, you'll see, it's very small. It's very goofy. But you'll see when we get there. You'll see when we get there. Let's go here. All right. Let me make sure I have everything set up. I know that a lot of people are probably more professional than me in terms of like having all this ready to go when you come on air, but like, come on. No, I'm not professional like that. Hey, Brian, of course, huge shout out to Brian. Welcome to Voyager class, Big M. Hey, Snells, Mike, Nickel. Let's see. Hey, Halo. Have I seen the new Magic Square Brawl prototype? We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. Hey, Marcus. Brian, Big M. Let's see. Make Toys is finally finishing their cone heads and headmasters. I mean, about time. They've been a long time doing that. Be safe on the drive home, Manitoba. Like I tell you every week, right? Be careful. Eyes on the road, buddy. Hey, Maximal 10. Even the professionals never ready at the start of this of their stream. That's fair. That's fair. Hey, I should have done that. Shouldn't have done that. Okay, so we're going to kind of kick things off. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do my unboxing. I'm going to do that now. Oh, look at Snell's. Wow, Snell's at Voyager class too. Holy, I'm going to have some work ahead of me. I'm going to have some work ahead of me indeed. Of course, all of this, I'm not going to lie, all of this helps me out to bring content to you guys, right? Of course, there's exclusive stuff that goes on there sometimes, but it certainly helps me to bring content to you guys. Now, the pickup for this week is, okay. So Starscream Wife was out on, I think it was Monday, maybe. And I thought I was going to have a pre-order in, to be fair. I really thought that it was going to arrive by now. It hasn't yet, but I do have something, we'll say, on the way, kind of, sort of. Hey, Ultra Megatronus. But while she was out, she picked me up just from a dollar store here. She picked me up a Squishling. I've never heard of a Squishling, but they're blind bag, and you either get Starscream, whose head is completely gray. It's a little wrong. What looks like an evergreen bumblebee. Megatron, very G1-ish, or the one that I think is most successful, Optimus Prime. Now, I've torn this. Let's see what it is that I have inside. And I happen to get, the Squishling that I happen to get was Optimus Prime. Oily. It smells very... That case smells very industrial, and it feels like there's a little bit of a lubricant or some sort of thing on it. However, what a cute little Optimus. I think the blue is a little bright, and he is not articulated, but like he's a squishy boy, right? I'm a squishy boy, so like he's cute. He's pretty cute. Again, it was like $1, right, or $2 or something like that. But he's pretty cute. Does he stand? Can I stand him up? Yeah, actually, he stands. Dude stands like a champ. Let's see. Let's put him back. Let's put him back right there next to the Insecticon. Kickback. We're gonna put him next to Kickback. By the way, if you have not yet checked it out, Tuesday I put up the review for this lad. This, of course, is Turn. And while I said, man, that I think the mass is a little light, and it would have been nice for him to be a little bulkier. I get that. I certainly do. I kind of like this size though for him because there's a certain suave elegance to him. And I think if he was bulky, I would tend to think of him more as like a burly monster than somewhat suave and debonair, right? I think that this works, honestly. So if you haven't checked out my Turn review, check it out. Check it out. He showed up at a local comic store. A lot of people were like, oh, you're so lucky to have him on the shelf. He's not really on the shelf. He showed up at a comic store. And there was only one of them. If you weren't here last week and I didn't mention it then, I'm going to mention it now. It looks like, based on the case that they got, and I don't know if that's an official case assortment. Holy moly! Look at Nickel as a deluxe class. Wow! Thank you so much for the support in 2023, guys. But I'm telling you now that it looks like the case assortment is 2 Leo Prime or Lio Convoy to 1 Turn. It looks like Turn might be the short packed one. I hope that there's a bigger, like 8-pack case assortment, but it seems like Voyagers have become 3-pack case assortments for a while. Keep your eyes peeled. That's the best I can say to you. Hey, Ken, happy to see you here, buddy. I'm just checking back here just a little bit. Hey, Joel. Hey, Imperial. Let's go down here. Just ordered Legacy Evolution Slug, but I always call him, by his actual name, of course. We all call him by his actual name, don't we? Starscream wife was kind of pulling a you. Yes, Maximal 10, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Nickel says, hope you're well. Our chat and the Tarn video, I agree. Yeah, the DJD would have to have. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people in the Tarn video said, what makes sense? They would love to see the rest of the DJD done. However, let's be realistic here. If they're not going to do a Megatron with his original G1 alt mode because it's too controversial or there are limits in the United States and probably in Canada, then I am hard pressed to see that they're going to do a guy who turns into like a smelter. I think it is. Is that what he is? The dude who in his alt mode, like, he has big arms, like takes the guys up and puts them. I can't remember if he shreds them and cuts them up, or if it's like a smelter that like melts them. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name. Or like the sniper rifle or the electric chair. You know, like they would have to be given. I think most of them would become tanks. If you're all right with the DJD having, we'll say, pretty accurate robot modes, but their alt modes not being so accurate, then you know what? You might get something stylized. I don't know what Nickel, funny enough, I don't know what Nickel actually turns into, or if people would want Nickel. You know, I mean, core class Nickel, maybe. You know, I'd be down for it. I wouldn't be sad about it. It's just the nature of what they are. Like the MMC ones are great. Possibly a little too big for my personal collection, but they might work for you. As we go down here a little bit. My problem with Legacy Tarn is that he's too flat. Now, you know what? Here's the thing. Some people said too flat, but I tell you what it is for me. Clean. I don't think he's too flat. I think he's just clean. And honestly, you could take his fusion cannon here on the side and put it on his back and put the 2 cannons out over his shoulders, bulk up his back, no problem. I get it, but I am fairly confident that this mold is going to be the mold that will be used for Voyager Bludgeon as well. So if you don't like it for Tarn, maybe you'll like it for Bludgeon, because I'd be shocked, absolutely shocked, if this doesn't become Bludgeon, if for no other reason, because the thighs are clearly comic book Bludgeon. Even I know that, and I'm not even a fan of the comic books. Tarn season 4 of Universal Collision. Season 4. He'll probably, he He won't be season 3. I don't think. I don't see him in season 3, but season 4, yeah, quite possible. Certainly after. Remember, there could be some one-offs and stuff after too. Hey Jay, happy to see you here, buddy. They were on the shelf until they were in my hands. Yeah, absolutely. Maximal 10 was a lifesaver for hooking me up with Tarn and for hooking me up with this lad, honestly. Now, everybody complains about the lion head, but you know, in robot mode, the lion didn't have pupils. So I think that what they did is they opted to do the lion head closer to accuracy for robot mode than for line mode. His review will be tomorrow. We'll compare him to Optimus Primal. We'll compare him to a couple of other ones, and we'll certainly see how the transformation and the paint and whatnot all work here. Again, the guy gives up some mass, but I think that there's a very interesting story here as well. Man, I need a big convoy. I need a big convoy. I didn't get the reissue. I just at the time I just couldn't see my way clear to do it, but I do. I need a big convoy. He's the only one left. I mean, I have, you know, going back, I have versions of the original 13. I have actually a few more than the original 13 because I also got like Logos Prime, a version of that, you know, the last Autobot, right? And the 13 I'm talking about are the Aligned Continuity 13. And then I have, you know, a version of Nova Prime. He's a custom from the Battle Core Optimus, but a version of Nova Prime. Then Optimus, then, sorry, Nova Prime, Sentinel, Optimus, Rodimus. Then, you know, I guess I have Metal Hawk. I do have Metal Hawk, and I guess we would call him a leader. And then I have Fort Max, or Fortress, if you will. Ginrai, Star Saber now, Die Atlas, Star Convoy, Optimus Primal, Leo Prime or Lio Convoy. All I need, man, is big convoy, and I have the entire, I'll say, Autobot Maximal lineage of leaders. And on the Decepticon side, there's not many that's missing, really. That's a little bit weird because technically, for example, Black Zarek could count as Devil Z, because Devil Z took over Black Zarek's body, right? So like I don't think we would get like the head that Devil Z was, right? You know, I have Super Megatron, but I don't see us getting some weird version of like an energy ball that would be Dark Nova. I don't see us getting Star Giant, which is when Dark Nova joins with, you know, like Super Ultra Megatron, right? But my point is, there's something about getting a big convoy that would make that side of the collection feel finished to me, if that makes sense. I don't know if it does, but it makes sense to me. By the way, I want to point this out since we're talking about it. Can I get to it now? Hold on. Me being professional again here, guys. I'm gonna go here. We're just gonna take him out of it, and I'm gonna lay him down. So I went back. I'm gonna lay him down too. So I went back, and you guys know that I like the Fossilizers, and I like the Fossilizers because, quite frankly, they can go amalgamated together to give a version of Onyx Prime. And I said it's very fitting because Onyx Prime is really the prime of beasts. I would love to have an official Onyx Prime, but I'm not going to lie. He would at least have to be Commander class because we have an upper body with 2 arms. The guy has 4 legs, and he has pretty giant wings as well. So I went back and I worked on my version a little bit more, and this is what I have now. So he has his 4 legs. I'm holding onto the 2 front ones and the 2 back ones, fully articulated. He has his long tail coming off. He has his upper body and his head, along with his 2 arms and his chest, somewhat burly. And he has behind his head now his 2 huge wings. Like all of the nods to Onyx Prime are here. I mean, obviously his coloration is off because he's made of 5 different fossilizers, but he's fully articulated. He's pretty solid, right? Like I'm you know, oh, I lost one piece, but generally, all things considered, he's pretty solid. So I'm gonna lay him down there before I completely shake him apart. But for the most part, he's pretty solid. So I'm kind of happy with it for now because I have a version of it. Ideally, and I can't remember his name offhand now, but one of the Animorphs would make a great version too, but you would have to find a way to put wings on it. Some people have said, what about the Transformers Prime Predaking? I mean, I guess I see the homage and the nods indeed, but he only has 2 legs, and I think it looks iconic as Transformers Prime Predaking because I know that Predaking, right? Okay, so I've babbled on here a little bit. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I got him. You're absolutely right, Master Fire. Hey, Ash. I'm going to go down here a bit. We're going to get into the news now in just a moment. I don't know if it's illegal that he can't be. It's not illegal. It's just if you do it, you're going to have to very much kidify it, right? And when they tried that with the 06, a lot of people didn't like it. There's a lot of laws around it. I get it. I understand it. Nickel turns into 5 pennies. That's pretty good. Hey, Warren. Happy to see you here, buddy. Hey, Ben. It kind of looks like one of the old Animorph Transformers. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Hey, Lance. Happy to see you here, too. See, I always find it so sad when people say, like, I'm not fond of the Fossilizers. I find that so sad. Everybody always says, we want something new. We want something different. They gave you new and different. All you do is complain about it. I'm sorry, but I think everybody really, really did a disservice to Fossilizers and a disservice to the wish of something new. I don't know about you, but like I'm pretty over sound waves and star screams and Optimus Primes. I got it. I don't need more of that. I want something different, right? But that's just me. Anyway, news and notes. Let's get into it. Matrix Workshop showed off their M73, which is basically a blaster add-on set for Legacy Skids. Looks pretty good. If you're not happy with the Legacy Skids blasters. Takara showed off their crossover Canon R5 camera. They're still calling it Refractor, but we all know it's Reflector. He comes with a little tiny version of himself that can split into 3 pieces for some weird reason. They don't transform. It's just 3 pieces of a tiny camera. The main bot has the quantum dial in his chest instead of the matrix like the Optimus version has. Again, it looks somewhat realistic. Apparently, it's a 90% to scale, so it's not a 1-to-1 ratio. It's a 90% to scale ratio. Couple of notes about it. Apparently, it feels like an old school type of transformer, very honking and chunky, with somewhat limited articulation. There is no waist because of the transformation. The lens can come off and move around. Some of the buttons can be pressed, but they don't actually do anything. It's large deluxe, small Voyager in terms of height. So I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. It's one of those collaboratives. Apparently, the transformation is super duper simple. So take that for what you will. The retro headmasters. Remember those when they came out in Walmart a couple of years ago now? And there were a couple of waves. The very first one had Mind Wipe, Hardhead, Brainstorm, and Chrome Dome, all with redecos from their Titans Return version, but with the Takara styled, more G1 styled heads. And apparently they're on BBTS now, and they average out to be, from what I've heard, I haven't looked it up, but from what I've heard, $26.99 US. I find that really interesting. Originally, those characters were $17.99 Canadian. I don't know what they were in 2017 in the US. My guess would be maybe $15, maybe $16, because we were very close on parity back then. So I would say very close. So I find it very interesting that the usage of the Takara head mold results in a higher price. I don't think it's an outlandish price at all. I think that when you consider like importing the molds from Takara, and when you consider the nature of inflation, those two things, and you consider I'm going to say the markup that BBTS themselves are putting on it, I don't think $26.99 is outlandish for the retro headmasters. They look good. I mean, it's not something I particularly need, but I know at least in Canada, a lot of people were very happy about it because we never got any version of Brainstorm here first or last, except for that one. In the US, bit of a different story. But they're on BBTS if you missed out and if you want them. We also found out that, and a lot of people are going to be ticked off by this one, Hasbro China announced that there will be a Menasor Legacy Menasor box set. Now, before anybody loses their mind and says, I didn't ever find Wild Rider, or I haven't found Dead End, or I got the limbs, but there was no Motormaster. Word is that this is just the regular China supply that is being packed as a box set instead of just going out as individual releases. I guess Hasbro China opted to do it as just one box set. I think that's the smart way to go with combiners anyway, to be perfectly honest with you. But, you know, what do I know, right? I don't know what it retails for. Apparently, there will be 100 of them, and they will come with a Menasor pin. And the pin basically has the G1 Menasor, like, box art on it, right? I think it's cool, but again, this is one of those things that people outside of China might get a little bent out of shape and say, well, they get to get them all in one nice fell swoop. Meanwhile, the rest of us, like chump suckers, are trying to find them either on the shelves or online. And that brings me to the next piece of news. It's about to get a little bit harder. Word is that Legacy Menasor is now being discontinued, which means Motormaster is being discontinued, which means the Motormasters that are out there are the Motormasters that are out there. If you've been dragging your heels and waiting, I wouldn't, because they will evaporate, because apparently it's being discontinued. Makes sense. We are moved on to Legacy Evolution. Why would you continue to produce the Legacy products at this time? Will he get a reissue or a repack later on? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I do know that that's what's happening. So take it for what you will. Let's see. The Motormaster discontinued. Rise of the Beast announced a lot of news this week. One of it being that apparently there is going to be an animatronic figure that will retail for about 120 US. Now, when I talked about Rise of the Beasts, I did point out a couple of things that could be around the mark of Commander class, but it still seemed a little bit off. It didn't quite seem to be the Commander class price. There was very little in the way of description. Maybe one of those listings was the Canadian price for this animatronic thing. Word has it that it's half the size and half the weight of the RoboSyn Optimus Prime, but that it will have a similar sort of auto transformation type of feature. So it's going to be much smaller, much lighter, but have that sort of feature in it. Most likely, I would suspect, coming from Rise of the Beast, I would guess that this is going to be a version of Optimus Primal, which, you know what? A small Optimus Primal like that next to a G1 Optimus Prime from RoboSyn would probably work out well if you remember the original scale of Beast Wars on the show. So I don't know. I don't know if it's for you. I'm not into this like animatronic auto converting stuff. Like I've seen I've seen I've seen the RoboSyn thing transform, and I've seen the trailer transform and stand up, and I've seen him do a little dance, and I've seen him say a few things, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool. 10-minute video later, I'm done. Like, I don't need to spend $1,500 when I've seen literally all I want to see with that thing in a 10-minute video. I don't know. It's one of those things like it's cool that it exists. Wouldn't be for me. I have carpet. Like, it doesn't work that great on carpet from what I've heard. It wouldn't be for me. I think it's neat that it exists. I think it'd be neat in a museum. Maybe you like it. Maybe your home is more conducive to it. I don't know. But, you know, it looks like if you're into it, you might get an Optimus Primal coming your way. Take that for what you will. TFCon LA announced that James Horan is also going to be a guest. Leave it to TFCon LA to keep pulling out the big guns, baby. Who is James Horan, you may ask? Well, you probably know him best as the voice of Transformers Prime Wheeljack. Very classic voice now. Speaking of cons, TF Nation, the panel that was done with McFeely and I don't remember who else now, that went over the original Ron Friedman 86 script. That whole panel from TF Nation is now up to view. The link exists on like a number of the news sites if you want to watch the panel. I'll say this now. Some of the speakers, certainly the host, has a very thick British accent. So if you're somebody who struggles with accents, just keep that in mind. Toys R Us did an interview with Mark Marr and Evan Brooks. I mean, I can't watch Marr and Brooks. I mean, fanboy and gosh, it's too fake. It's too fake for me. I mean, it's a feather in his hat that they agreed to do the interview with him. I would like to do an interview with them. Wouldn't be like any other interview you've seen, I assure you. I bet you know it wouldn't be like any other interview that you've seen. I would very much delve on the business side of things. But you know what? If you want a nice, lighthearted little romp of the designers and a fan having fun, then check it out. What else do we have here? I mentioned earlier that there was some Rise of the Beast promo art. This promo art came from the Taronga Western Plains Zoo in Australia. And I guess it's used for a number of exhibits. We now have promo art that shows Cheetor. Very interesting look. Still a very robotic form. You could see what looks like the panels fitting together on his back and whatnot. You could see what looks like the servos and whatnot for like his back legs. Still a very, it's so weird. It's not mechanical animal like Laserbeak mechanical animal was in Dark of the Moon, but it's still definitely mechanical animal enough that it doesn't look like a natural animal like they did on Beast Wars, right? But I think it's a smart way to go. I mean, they're robots, right? Let's not try and suspend disbelief that it turns into like a real cat. It doesn't. Obviously, it's going to have panels and stuff. So I think I'm okay with it. He does look ferocious. We saw Rhinox. Rhinox looks real clean. Of all of them, I think Rhinox is the most successful. And that's probably because a rhinoceros kind of feels big and plated and stuff anyway. So I think it's an easier one to pull off. Primal looks pretty good. And we saw Ear Razor in her bird mode. I mean, it looks great. It looks really great. I'm impressed with that. There was also Bumblebee, who looks like a Bumblebee, and Optimus, who very much looks like his Bumblebee movie version, with silver now up on the top of his chest, and it looks like kind of more on his arms and his elbows, like that area around right here now has silver, which we've seen Optimus have silver in that area a lot of times in the past. A little bit of a departure for us G1 hardcore fans that think his entire arm should be red. But you know what? I can't say it's wrong or bad. I mean, the art's looking pretty good for it, right? I think we can agree that the art is looking pretty darn good for it. Toy Fair UK is returning live January 24th to the 26th. And we're going to see nothing. There's going to be a bunch of exhibitors. This is for business. There might be leaks. For example, several years ago, that's how we got a leak of Titan Class Devastator at first. But it's been a couple of years, is my understanding, since UK Toy Fair has been live. And Nuremberg Toy Fair, the big one, the big granddaddy of them all, is also going to be live February 1st to the 5th. So that's pretty cool. Let's do the trivia. Let's do the trivia, and then we're going to do the rest of the news because I don't particularly have the unboxing, right? By the way, no, I'll save it. Let's do the trivia here first. Are you ready? This one is a thinker. We've been doing a lot of talking about beasts and beast wars and beast animals. This one's a thinker. Who shares a protoform body with a generic Predacon that was shown in the agenda part 1? So there's a generic Predacon protoform that's shown in the agenda part 1 from Beast Wars. Some other well-known character on the show shares the same body as that protoform. Is it A, Air Razor? Is it B, Black Arachnia? Is it C, Quick Strike? Or is it D, Protoform X? Who shares the same body as the generic Predacon in the agenda part 1? Air Razor, Black Arachnia, Quick Strike, or Protoform X? Let's see what you guys end up saying. I'm going to go up and check some of what you have been talking about. See what I've missed here. Gotta go up, gotta go up, gotta go up. How far up do I have to go? About here. I think it was about here. Maybe down a little lower, actually. My audio a bit shot? Shouldn't be. My audio should be fine. I mean, not that I know of. I don't even know what a bit shot means, but okay. Nickel turns into a go-kart buggy. Yeah, so like nickel would be easy to do, right? I heard Atlantic was busted. I don't know what that means. Hasbro has done a great job eliminating back kibble. Stylized alts of the DJD, sure. Like, I think it would have to be stylized, right? I think Legacy is the best Generations line today. I don't know about that. I don't know if I agree with that, to be honest with you. But, I mean, Jay, you're going to say Evolution is the best. And whatever follows that, you're going to say that's the best. You always say the new stuff's the best, bro. I don't, like, I'm sorry. Almost nothing is going to beat Generation Springer. That thing is pretty close on about as perfect as you could ever hope for in a Transformer. Does the kibble hinder his shoulders? For this guy, Master Fire? No, that's the beauty. I was so concerned about it. And it doesn't hinder it one bit. You'll see tomorrow the way the joints and stuff work, but not even slightly does it hinder it. Hey, Grimlock Gone. Got him to drop in the middle of repairing a switch. Good luck. I wish I'd gotten Big Convoy, but passed. I mean, I had to pass at the time. It was just bad timing, right? Shame as the Matrix Buster would have been an amazing add-on. Absolutely. I'm glad you didn't get the reissue because I mean, it's not that the transformation is super hard. It's that Big Convoy is very panely. Very, 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 very heavy panely, right? That's the problem with them. But still, like I would like to have him, yes. I wonder if they'll do a green Leo Prime like in the show. I don't know. I've wondered about that too, honestly. I mean, he had a couple of colors. He had the green and he had that like crystally version too, right? As we go down here. If I'm missing some stuff, guys, I greatly apologize. Yes, Magmatron. I would love do it. Do a Galvatron from Beast Wars 2. Do a Magmatron. Update both of those. Magmatron is Beast Wars Neo. So he was the counterpart to Big Convoy, and Galvatron was the counterpart to Lio Convoy. And yes, he was made up of 3 animals. Yeah, you absolutely got it. I mean, 13 might be part of a HasLab thing, maybe. I'm not going. I don't feel good about HasLab. I got to be honest with you. Hey, Bumblebee, Fossilizers are something you just weren't fond of. I think that's sad. Yeah, but we know that. Still bought all of them. Visser 3, thank you. Visser 3, yeah. These new Target Masters are making us miss the old Battle Masters. Oh, yeah, well, they're garbage, right? Needle Nose and Knockout are my final figures. Fair enough. Titans Return Deluxes back in the day were around $19.99 US? $19.99 US? No way Canada was cheaper. And Titans Return was $19.99. Or not, Titans Return was $17.99. I don't know where you live, Halo, but Titans Return was $17.99. They went up with Power of the Primes. Then they went up to $19.99. But Combiner Wars was $15.99. Combiner Wars was $15.99, and then it went up $2 to $17.99 with Titans Return, and then it went up $2 to $19.99 with Power of the Primes, and then it jumped $10 with War for Cybertron. Let's see. Hey, Caleb. Oh, you ordered Freezer, hey? What? Chinese Menasor will have 2 Technobots? What? Okay. And Power Glide. The China set is exactly the same. Yeah, it's the exact same. They're even in the same boxes. It's just they've taken all 5 and put them in one bigger box. It's nice not to have to hunt it though, right? No, it's not a G2. It's just the regular thing, right? I can happily live without Legacy Motormaster and Scrappy Cons. Hey, DJ. I will get Robosin Optimus Prime. I don't think it's by Robosin. It's by Hasbro, I'm pretty sure. I just think it's the same idea as what Robosin did. Maybe it is by Robosin. I don't know. Because it's not too overpriced. No, 120 is reasonable for sure. Robosin Prime, not for me. I have a mortgage, right? They're better than the ones running Marvel Legends. Yeah, Marvel Legends has had a pretty raw deal in the last while. What? They'll be telling you where they'd be telling you where they hid the bodies after you were finished with them. Yeah, yeah. I mean, and I wouldn't, I'm not the sort that like they'd give some sort of corporate answer and I'd be like, okay, so that was crap. How about give me the real answer now? Like, you know what I would be like? They would never ever sit down to an interview with me. Not a chance. Far too controversial. Tech students actually created the transforming Optimus, but could not sell it. Yes, yes, Ken, I remember that too. That was an amazing video as well. Robeson truck, no trailer, no thanks. Well, the trailer does exist for it though, right? Let's see. Primal, Black Arachnia. Well, no, it wasn't Primal. D. Oh, you're a lot of people saying D. There is no E, Ben, you silly. See, Protoform X. A lot of people saying Protoform X. It was Black Arachnia. The only difference between the generic and her was that he had a head that was different than her head. And if you look at her protoform, she actually has the Black Arachnia head. Interestingly, it was in, let's see, what's it called? Double Jeopardy, where we saw Black Arachnia premiere with that, I guess, that protoform body. And it's also a different type of protoform body than was used in the rest of the episodes. So those two shared the same protoform body, but it's different than what other protoform bodies look like in the rest of Beast Wars. Go figure. What a weird thing, right? Of note, I'm going to throw this out there now. Tarn has been seen in the UK. The Legacy Evolution Deluxe is starting to show up in Canada at GameStop. I have not seen any of the deluxes as of yet. Mine are still slated for March. Hopefully they'll show up sooner. I mean, Tarn did and Lio Convoy did, right? Prime One Studios showed off their Power Master Optimus Prime statue. Again, I mentioned this a little while ago. There's a standard version that stands 37 inches. And there's an ultimate version that stands 39 inches. The statue is the same. The base is different. That's where the 2 extra inches come from. The ultimate version comes with many more interchangeable parts, like arms and faces and stuff, that the standard doesn't come with. So if you're into statues, I mean, you're into statues, right? Let's go down here a little bit and check with you guys. I remember the flashback scene. Audio's pretty bad on your end. I don't know why. Audio good here. Maybe it's your speaker, man. I don't know. I mean, I test all this stuff before I went on, and there was no problems on my end that I knew of. I don't know. I don't know why. Anybody else experiencing the bad audio besides Keldeo, or is it just Keldeo? A new Magmatron done in the IDW Beast Wars, the Gathering art style would be sick. I have no idea what that looks like. Just give me Magmatron. Okay, so Titans figures were $16.99 and here $17.99. In 2017, we were pretty much on parity. We were trading at about like 98 cents to the dollar. So yeah, the prices were actually very close then. I'm just saying, I actually don't have Hasbro pre-orders after my Tarn arrives from Amazon. I really don't like the new series that much. That's fair. Luckily, I'm getting third party. I just ordered Commander of the Stars. I can't wait for that. I have no idea what Commander of the Stars is. I don't, even with third party, like I never call them by whatever their weird third party name is. They're the dude to me, right? Is Commander of the Stars a Starscream? Is it another Starscream? Is that what it is? I don't know. I don't know. I don't do much third party stuff. Some, but not a lot. Not that I don't like it, but I mean, like it's wildly expensive out of my price budget. Take care, Warren. Turn going between 50, 60 British pounds. Woo, baby. Okay, audio is fine there. Audio is loud and clear here. I don't know. Caldeo, buddy. I wish I was able to help you. Sounds like a muffled. I don't check your speaker, man. I don't know. No, Maximal 10 said it was muffled a little bit. Oh yeah, when I'm bent over or like when I'm turned around it, to there or something. Oh yeah, it's gonna be bad then. I mean the microphone is here, right? So it's gonna be bad then. Oh, Galaxy Force Optimus Prime. There you go. Thank you very much. See, that wouldn't be for me. That's why I wouldn't know it. It's Unicron Trilogy, right? So it wouldn't be for me. But you know what? I hope you love it, man. Okay, so BBTS has Dead End up for pre-order again. So if you need a Dead End, check it out on BBTS. I have Live Convoy. I assume you mean Live Convoy. Is great, hey? Okay, going on down here. So the core class Dinobots and Sound Blaster are also out in Canada at Walmart. No, I'm going to tell you now. I am not planning, unless I get a loan of it from somebody, I'm not planning to review that sludge or that slag or that Sound Blaster because no, I don't see the point of Sound Blaster being that small. And I could tell you now, I don't like those Dinobots. They would not score well. It wouldn't be fair. I already know I don't like them. So I know I wouldn't really give them a fair shake. No elbows. Get out of here. Just saying. Rise of the Beast, again, showed off an Optimus Prime and Bumblebee role-play mask. Well, that's a lie. They didn't show them off. There are listings for an Optimus Prime role-play mask and a Bumblebee role-play mask. If you want role-play masks, I guess. Let's see. Renegade Con Virtual 2023 is planning to show off some Transformers tabletop games. What exactly this means, what will the games entail? Anybody's guess at this point, but you can tune in and see what it's all about at Renegade Con Virtual 2023 on February the 4th, up and coming, if you like tabletop games. Let's see. Battlegrounds showed some concept art of a very blocky Grimlock, of some Cyberversus style Megatron, a Combiner Wars-ish, like off-road looking vehicle. I don't know who it was supposed to be. Wheeljack, Bumblebee, Optimus Prime, RC, and a couple of other more generic ones that were like in-game creations, right? Optimus Prime Koosh Ball, as well as a Bumblebee Koosh Ball, exists now. If you like Koosh Balls, expect more. That's the best thing I can tell you about that. Magic Square showed off, this was mentioned earlier, the gray prototypes of both Brawl and Blastoff. Super duper clean vehicle mode. Super duper clean robot mode. Really great legend scale offerings. How well will they combine to Bruticus? How well will that be pulled off? Will it require parts forming? Will it be solid? Time will tell. But based on the Brawl, based on the Blastoff, they look real nice. I don't know what the materials will be like, but I have high hopes based on the prototypes. Excuse me. We have two more pieces of news. I'm just going to check in with you guys here real quick. Dead End sold out. Wow, that was fast. You don't need those tiny Dinobots. You got the set I gave you for Christmas. I got the set you gave me for Christmas. Oh, wait until you see me review that thing. Oh, buddy, they combine. They do combine, Maximal 10. They absolutely combine. If you weren't here for the Christmas unboxing, go back, man. Check that live show out. Holy cow, I'm glad I ordered my Dead End last night. Big M. Hoping for official DevCon from Legacy. That'd be great, Ben. I'd love that. I would love a DevCon. Yes, that would be great. It's so weird. People hunt so hard for Dead End. It's so strange. I went to one GameStop and I went in there and I saw him on the shelf. And I was like, mine. And I took him. It was the only one I ever saw. I didn't see him after, didn't see him anytime before, just that one. It was the easiest thing in the world for me to get, but it was pure dumb luck that I got it. Give him the Thu to smash him. No, I don't. Thu doesn't smash him anymore. He hasn't done a beatdown in years, man. Yeah, people have to break. I mean, it's no good for anybody here to be after breakdown because he ain't here yet, right? He will be, but he ain't here yet. Still waiting on breakdown. That's like everybody is gone crazy for Galaxy Shuttle. Like, I have a Walmart right now that has 2 of them just sitting on the shelf. I don't know. Is he hard to find? I haven't seen him yet, but I've been laying low from the toy shops. That's fair. Okay, so the last 2 pieces of news. One is a rumor, big rumor. And I want you to sit tight and listen up, maggots, because we could be getting a Transformers Collaboratives with G.I. Joe for the Triple T and O-Ring Sergeant Slaughter. I don't know who would be the Triple T. By the way, calling you guys maggots, if you know wrestling, then you know Sarge, right? Word is that this rumor came from Sarge himself at a convention, presumably a wrestling convention. I don't know if there's any truth to it. I mean, I have no reason to kind of doubt Sarge, to be honest with you. But I also have no reason to believe him. I haven't been in for these, though I will admit I would like to have the Baroness that came with the Megatron. I didn't want the Megatron. I didn't need the Stalker that came with Bumblebee. Didn't need Bumblebee. But I'll say this. I might get a Triple T because I do very much need a Sergeant Slaughter. One guy, not as a lad and not as an adult. One character I've never, ever had is Sergeant Slaughter. Knew somebody who had him, but never, ever had him myself. Go figure, right? So, yeah, I kind of hope that happens. We'll see. We'll see. Shut up and take my money. Yeah, Sergeant Slaughter collab. I'm glad I have an OGG1 Menasor. Is Galaxy Shuttle hard to find? I don't know. Is he hard to find? Okay. I know of the Magaterm through other means. Well, Sarge used to call everybody, listen up, maggot, right? Or shut up, maggot, or something like that. Especially when he was playing a heel. Got breakdown yesterday and he's good. Is he good though? Because the Wall Rider's not good. I cut a spoiler in half so it could stay on for transformation, and that worked great. Love them as a set, and the combined mode is super stable. Yeah, it's just getting to combined mode is rough. I don't know. So far, I'm preferring my Combiner Wars. But to be fair, I've done a bunch of work on my Combiner Wars. I picked up the Classifieds Slaughter. Great. Again, Classifieds would be too big for me, right? I'm not into this 6-inch stuff. Yes, he's hard to find. Wild. Haven't seen Galaxy Shuttle at all in my area. I had the mail away Sergeant Slaughter. Yeah, see, a lot of people had that. I didn't have that guy. Just found a bat, and he and Cobra Commander are the only Joes I currently have. The quality is just not there. Well, I mean, there's something to be said for that, I guess, right? So the very last one is that we have seen a bunch of pictures now of Studio Series Eraser, and it is, as I said before, based on this mold. When there were 2 deluxe erasers, I explained to everyone then that, hey, the Studio Series 1 is based on this mold. And I'm telling you now, this mold is tremendous. I have it for Eraser, Beast Wars Eraser, Kingdom Eraser. I have it for Skywarp, the Maximal Skywarp. I have it for Pterosaur. Now, I know some people have had some issues with Pterosaur with the wing popping off. I haven't heard of any issues with the Skywarp. And somehow, some way, people said that there were problems with their wings on Eraser and they broke or something. I can't for the life of me imagine how anybody broke a wing on this. I really can't. manipulated it. I've moved them. I've done everything to these wings a billion times over. She's dropped on the floor a bunch of times from a shelf that's quite high up. I mean, she dropped a good 7.5 feet a few times, and she's fine. I can't imagine how anyone breaks it. I think reusing this mold for Air Razor is a splendid, brilliant idea because this is a splendid, brilliant mold. At least in my experience across 3 different copies of it. Take that, ladies and gentlemen, for what you will. I have a ton of fun. I've had a ton of fun combining and transforming the set. I could easily see QC issues making it a pain, but I've been pretty lucky with this. I mean, I don't think that drag strip is janky and shakes, and he's loosey goosey. Um, the dead end, I don't like him from the waist down at all. He really doesn't like to stand up. He's very back heavy and likes to fall back because the ankles just aren't there. Motormaster is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I'm sorry, but all Wild Rider is a poorly done Combiner Wars. The Combiner Wars one is better. It's more straightforward and intuitive without pieces knocking into each other, and it's the exact same transformation, the exact same thing. And then I don't know, breakdown. The breakdown will probably be better because the Combiner Wars breakdown is hot trash. Hate that thing. So I don't know, mixed bag. Somewhere in between both, there's probably a really great Menasor somewhere. One day, maybe we'll get it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. I'm done. I don't have anything to open, so I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go, actually, and me and Starscream Wife, we're going to watch some Peaky Blinders. Great show. I love that show. Hope you guys have had a great evening. I know I've had some fun with you. I certainly hope that you have a tremendous weekend coming up and that everything good in this world comes to you because you sure deserve it. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. Don't forget to also hit the subscribe button, stick around, have some fun with us here on the channel, and especially don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single day, whether you feel it, believe it, or don't, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights right here, or at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way inside the videos.